Welcome back, folks. Be sure 94 here with another WCW Monday Nitro. We are on the first Nitro here of August 2002. Just want to say thank you to everybody who made Bash at the Beach a huge success. We had a bunch of views, we had a lot of comments and likes on the video, so thank you very much for all of that, guys. We're going to keep this going, like I said, every Sunday. So we're going to keep trying to pump out as much WCW content as we can every single week. As we move forward towards MLB The Show coming out, which you'll see more videos coming to the channel once that game comes out next month. Having said that, let's get back to World Championship Wrestling here, and we'll start with a recap of what happened at Bash at the Beach. So I'll run down this just so we all have a same understanding here of what kind of happened on Sunday. So Abyss did retain his WCW Championship against Rey Mysterio. Mike Awesome retained his U.S. Championship against the Guido. Ron Van Dam picked up a victory over Booker T. Sting made Chris Kanyon tap out to the Scorpion Deathlock. The Steiner brothers won the WCW Tag Team Championships from the Militia. Jeff Jarrett snuck out a victory against Dustin Rhodes. Ken Shamrock beat the Hurricane. And Rhino defeated Lance Storm. So, all good stuff at the pay-per-view. The show was fantastic. No complaints at all with really anything that happened on the show. So now we're moving towards Clash of the Champions here in August, which is in 2 weeks, I believe, or 3 weeks. So let's get right into the building of that show, and we'll go from there. Our opening promo is James Mitchell, Abyss, and the Nighbreed. And Mitchell is talking about how Abyss destroyed Rey Mysterio, and that there's no challengers to step up for the WCW Championship. And then, obviously, Mike Awesome, who is the WCW United States Champion, his music hits, and he says that last time he checked, he also retained his championship on Sunday, and that the U.S. title is the same, if not better, than the World Championship of WCW. So obviously we have a little standoff here in the ring between the two singles champions, saying who is the best champion. And we've implemented a thing where every year at Clash, we always do the US versus the WCW champion. And that's what we're getting here. So Paul Heyman interrupts and announces that at Clash of Champions, the main event will be non-title for both men, as Mike Awesome will face the Monster Abyss in champion versus champion. So let's put that on the marquee here. So Clash of Champions. And we already have our main event booked, which is awesome. Which is Mike Awesome. Where is he? Mike Awesome. Where are you at? There you are. Versus Abyss. Champion versus champion. Perfect. Yep. Perfect. So Heyman announces that we have our main event now for Clash of the Champions already set. I don't think there's a reason to put either title on the line, just because it doesn't make sense to do it, especially with the way we're kind of building this up. And Heyman improvised well to bring this segment to life with a 63. The opening promo so far has been very low on the rating scale, so hopefully the show will bounce back. But that's where we're at right now. So we have that with Mike Awesome facing off against Abyss at Clash of the Champions. And our opening contest of the Nitro is the debuting America's Most Wanted. In a decent match, America's Most Wanted defeats the Nighbreed 7. Mike Awesome was the one who came in and helped them beat the Nighbreed. Vampiro, what I've loved to see something different there, of course. Okay. In a good match, Jamie Noble defeats Frankie Kazarian in 7:41 by pinfall. Jamie Noble is 73, Kazarian is 66. Post-match, Kevin Nash hits the ring and we'll get there, don't worry. We come back from commercial as Nash is walking backstage. Great. There we go. So on next week's Nitro, we got Sting versus Kevin Nash in our main event of the evening. So that's nice. Solid stuff there. Alright, 68 over on the segment, so good stuff. Nash and Heyman are both over, so good. We get a decent match here out of Jindrak, defeating Bryan Danielson in 5:36 by pinfall with a mark of excellence. Jindrak is 62, Danielson with a shocking 53, so that's good. TV title has advanced, and the match got the crowd hotter. 66 overall segment. Right now, I'm just trying to give Jindrak as many wins as I can to build him up, and just testing out who in developmental is going to be ready to come up soon. Obviously, Bryan Danielson is ready to come up with a 53, so expect him, maybe Saban, maybe somebody else as well will be coming up shortly, so look forward to that. Post-match, Jindrak demands competition for the TV championship. 64 segment there. We get a backstage promo from the new WCW Tag Team Champions, the Steiner brothers, saying that they finally have claimed the WCW Championships after a long run facing off with the Militia and finally getting the one-up on them to become champions, and that they are going to be the best Tag Team Champions in World Championship Wrestling possible. 71 overall in the promo. And about that great heat and decent wrestling. Steiner brothers defeat Shane and Bam Bam at 8:05. In terms of in-ring work, Scott Steiner was head and shoulders above everybody else. Bam Bam at 52, Shane Douglas at 65, Rick Steiner at 50, Scott at 78. Tag titles have advanced, and Shane and Bam Bam story has started. So, and Steiner brothers have great chemistry and a 68 overall segment. So we love that. Everybody good here. Steiners get a nice win on their first Nitro after becoming champions. Post-match, the Militia's Ray Gonzalez and Super Crazy come out and say Guido is on a retreat after dealing with the losses last night. However, we want our rematch for the WCW Tag Team Championships at Clash of Champions, and we want our titles back, whether we have Guido with us or not. So at Clash of Champions, we have a new match to book here. There we go. Tag team title match. So we got Ray Gonzalez and Super Crazy facing off against the Steiner brothers for the WCW Tag Team Championships. WCW Tag Team titles. Perfect. So that's just a rematch. Nothing crazy there, but we'll take it. 68 overall on the promo there, and that was without Guido, so that's good stuff that we were able to get away with that. In a superb match, Lance Storm defeats Chris Kanyon in 12:31 by pinfall with a fast roll-up during the distraction by Sting. Chris Kanyon is 69, Lance Storm is 76. TV title Storm has advanced 72 overall in the match. Throughout this whole match, Chris Kanyon was getting pissed about hearing the "you tapped out" chants, which has ultimately led to his distraction and him losing to Lance Storm. Post-match, Chris Kanyon grabs a microphone and is obviously very pissed off that he lost to Storm due to Sting, and says that his embarrassment from last night is unacceptable and that he wants Sting in a 60-minute Iron Man match, which is not going to happen, so don't worry. But we are going to do a 30-minute one. We're doing a 30-minute Iron Man match at Clash of Champions between Chris Kanyon and Sting. Go here. And this is going to be the blow-off for this feud. So we can finally move on with both of these guys. But it's been, I think, good for both men. I just hope that this is not going to kill us for Chris Kanyon here. But 30-minute Iron Man match. Gotta pretend like it's going to be 30. There we go. Perfect. That's fine. We got to do it, though. Okay. So Sting accepts the challenge, and we got a 72 rating on all that segment, and we have another new match for Clash of Champions. In a good match, Rob Van Dam defeats Billy Kidman in 8:01 by pinfall with a split-legged moonsault. Rob Van Dam at 92, Billy Kidman at 48. Performance RVD stood out. 78 overall segment. RVD puts in some work here. Kidman gets featured on Nitro, and RVD gets another win. Good stuff out of both men. A 78 is very shocking for this match. No complaints at all, though. This is fantastic. Post-match, Booker T comes out and says that him and RVD are far from done, and that he wants his revenge on Rob Van Dam for embarrassing him last night at Bash at the Beach. 74 segment there, and the storyline has advanced. And about the head good heat and decent wrestling, Ken Shamrock defeats Elix Skipper in 7-12 by pinfall. Ken Shamrock at 58, Elix Skipper at 68. Ken Shamrock's storyline has advanced, and they now qualify to the match with a 67 rating. If you remember last night at Bash at the Beach, Ken Shamrock defeated the Hurricane by making him pass out. So Shamrock obviously beat down the superhero of World Championship Wrestling, and we'll see who's going to end up stepping up to Shamrock next, if anybody, to stop the most dangerous man in the world. We get a promo from Double J and BG James talking about how they proved by beating Dustin Rhodes last night at Bash at the Beach that the Rhodes family is nothing, and that the Jarrett family is the top dog here in World Championship Wrestling. But they get interrupted by the Rhodes family naturally, and that Dustin wants to face Jeff Jarrett next week on Monday Nitro without BG and without Dusty at ringside. Jeff Jarrett reluctantly accepts, and we have another big match for Monday Nitro next week. I'm really trying to push, coming up with matches the Nitro before, so that way there's something to lead into people for next week. 64 overall in the segment, and the storyline has advanced. A superb match. Abyss defeats Kaz Hayashi in 10-23 by pinfall with a black hole slam. Abyss is 73, Kaz Hayashi is 75, 76 overall in our main event of the evening. Kaz Hayashi proves that he can hang with the world champion, and Abyss gets a huge TV win with a 76 overall rating. And that's our show. Let's see what we get for a full rating here. I'm expecting a 71. 75, even better. Popular increase in 10 regions. We're still working on these, so have no fear. We're good with that. Couple of announcements about World Championship Wrestling. We have signed a new pay-per-view deal that's going to help us a lot with the US. And we have also signed a new TV deal with MTV, which is going to start next Nitro. And that should help us big time with ratings as well as bringing in more popularity. So looking forward to that. Again, guys, like usual, make sure we're crushing that like goal because we got to beat that YouTube algorithm so that way we can keep this going. Look forward to MLB The Show coming next month to you. And next week we'll go for week 2 of August as we build towards our Clash of the